Hey guys, welcome. This is a general reading for the collective of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. How are you, Scorpio? This is not a date or time specific reading. Whenever you come upon it, if it speaks to you, it may be your message at that time. If you're here as a cross watcher for a Scorpio, sometimes the messages come through directly for you. So you'll want to be aware of that. Let's see what else. I think I'm just going to remind you that private readings are available again. There's a link in the description box below. I have learned the hard way that it is not always accessible from a cell phone. So you may want to wait until you're at a laptop or a desktop or a tablet. Like my iPad worked fine, my cell phone did not. To click that link and go ahead and read all about it. And all the details are there. There's only one offer, and slots open up daily. I kind of had a big blowout. All the open spots sold out pretty much in two and a half days. And so now it's just opening one slot up. And because they're pre-recorded, you don't have to worry about the date. You're just clicking on the little white time slot next to the calendar or below the calendar, depending on the device you use, to get in line. So that's just how it works. If you have any interest in that, the link is below. You have to scroll down a little bit. So just thought I'd let you know that. Okay, I am pulling from Dragon Oracle for you, Scorpio. Green Dragon helps you tune into the secrets of nature, receive answers and guidance from nature, and align with your divine essence. That's good. We have a lot of energy right now in the sign of Taurus. So Taurus is the gardener of the zodiac, especially of tarot. Think Seven of Pentacles. And so I'm feeling like there's some call to you, whether it's in nature near your home or on travel or, at the shore, if you're near a lake or a large body of water. It's kind of guiding you into greenery or to nature in general, where you can receive answers and guidance that sometimes, which is perfect for Scorpio if you're here as the Scorpio. Sometimes answers we get from animals, from nature in general. I know there are certain signs in nature that I see that really speak to me, that kind of come through as a synchronicity. I think that's what you're being guided to. Nice message, Scorpio. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull the cards, give you my impressions, and then we'll jump in with some clarifiers. Sorry about the lawn, guys, going around here, and if I stop talking, that's why, because you won't hear it very loudly, but it's like they're right in my living room. Okay. So definitely feel there's some attention here for you, yes, on some form of reconciliation in your connection. Wow. Okay. Because we're starting here with the Six of Wands, that present energy. We're opening up the reading with energies around reconciliation, maybe around a triumphant homecoming, a return, and where you meet in the middle, where you forge an alliance, where you emphasize a win-win outcome. And it has to do with commitment or being true to yourself, because that's in the challenge position. So the challenge here is, how do you reconcile something that has been painful for at least you, but probably both of you, and still be true to yourself? That's the challenge that I'm seeing. Because in your unconscious awareness, we have the Queen of Pentacles. She's a card of self-care, but it's also a feminine archetype of a life partner. So it's kind of how you're identifying at this moment. In the past, we see the Five of Cups. So there's some, and that came out in the morning musing, where there's some kind of focus on something that has been lost to you, some grief and sadness, maybe a focus on some mistakes of the past or regrets of the past. And yet, I'm feeling more of the sadness, the heavy sadness here, here and disappointment, because your conscious awareness is all about messages of love or apology, something sincere. And I think that would go a long way to bringing you into that energy of reconciliation that you seek while still being true to yourself. See where I'm going here? Going forward, we have the Nine of Cups. Some wish fulfillment may be on the menu, but we have to be careful with the Nine of Cups because we're also looking at potential complacency. Spirit's message to you is about you and your past life soulmate, the warmth, the comfort, the nostalgia. We'll see what that's about in the clarifiers. But in the hidden energies, there's some passion rising. There is a gift from Spirit being handed to your divine counterpart saying, go, go, go. This is the time. Take action. So it's a gift from Spirit of inspired action. In your hopes and or fears, we're looking at the painful ending. Right? There's some backwards facing energy here. I think you're afraid of that maybe things are either final, like there's no way to come back from it. Hold on. Right? That may be the fear, but also maybe a hope that you can overcome it. So we'll see in the clarifiers. And going forward, we've got our Emperor here, divine masculine energy. So let's jump in with some clarifiers and see if we can get the details. Ooh, Six of Wands in the Hierophant. Seven of Pentacles, there's the Ten of Swords again. Okay, so you've been waiting for this person to return. Got it. I do feel that we've already had the painful ending. So that's something from the past, and that's why this Five of Cups is here. And I feel like there's this endless sense of when will they return, or will they return? And it's coming up against, it's bumping up against your belief systems, your beliefs around the kind of committed conventional relationship you might or might not want. I mean, I feel like there's a disconnect. There's something here that feels like you thought you were on one path, maybe heading towards something more committed and long-term, and then it did not materialize. And so there's this painful ending, and it could be that you're dealing with someone who kind of comes in and out and doesn't really make the commitment. So let's look at the Queen of Pentacles and see what she has. Hold on. I know right where I am. We have got it. Okay. And underneath is the Two of Swords. So while you're sort of processing everything in a very unconscious way, trying to get some clarity, making an important decision about how to go forward, there is this sort of energy of, I gave it all. I gave it all. I was open. I was receptive. I was full of unconditional love. And here I sit sort of empty-handed. And when I see the Empress, which is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra, and I told you there's a lot of energy in Taurus right now, and I look at the Five of Pentacles, it's questions around self-worth and value, or feeling devalued, right? And sometimes if we feel someone's devaluing us, we take a hit for that. It shakes our confidence. It shakes our sense of self. So I do feel like one part of you is working on, regaining your, getting your sea legs and getting the ground beneath your feet again with that Queen of Pentacles, and really focusing on some self-care, while at the same time being aware that an important decision about this connection needs to be made. So I'm feeling like you've been dealing with someone who's been non-committal, and or has reneged on or you've been waiting with that Seven of Pentacles for things to grow organically, and it just kind of hasn't happened. And something kind of looks like it went off the rails. Ten of Swords, Five of Cups. Let's look at the Five of Cups. And again, like, okay, so we're looking at the past here. Things moving very slowly, you being very circumspect about the path forward, coming back from this very cautiously, like proceeding with caution and a healthy dose of worry and anxiety even with the Nine of Swords. And underneath, I think the whole thing has just been weighing on you so heavily. It's a lot of heavy karma to carry by oneself, and I feel like that's where we left things, and now where you are is, well, if I received some kind of message that I believe to be sincere, it would help. So not just something sincere, but the truth. But the truth, right? Are we in this together or not? Are you on board? Because this is the card of cooperation, co-creation, taking something really beautiful and building upon it so you develop that strong foundation. Four of Wands, are always about something solid. And I feel like you're kind of wanting, you're open to, in your conscious awareness, whatever the message is, it needs to be true and it needs to be sincere. And that'll tell you what you're really dealing with. So I do feel you're very open to that. And the Nine of Cups in the near future. Yeah, I feel like you'll get the answer. Yeah, you want the truth, you're going to get the truth. I feel like there is wish fulfillment coming in with someone whose heart is, they're coming towards you with the message of love. They're coming towards you with an offer from their heart. I do feel there will be some energy of cooperation here that is what you're sort of open to receiving. But with the Tower, what they have to share with you may come as a surprise. And it's not a negative surprise necessarily. The Tower isn't always destruction. The Tower can be paradigm shifts that force you to see something differently. Okay? That rip out from underneath you the rug of comfort and tell you you've been looking at it from the wrong perspective. And sometimes that's what the Tower is about. So yeah, can it kind of be a little earth-shaking? Sure. But it doesn't necessarily mean something's being destroyed. The Tower can also be about something being made clear is no longer sustainable. So keep that in mind. I do feel like I see it coming towards you. And if you're open to it, it could be wish fulfillment, that whatever comes toward you with sincerity, which I think is really important, and with some truth and honesty, which is something you've been waiting for. And yet at the same time, it may point to something that you have to have an awakening around. Not that you have to do anything, we all have free will, but that whatever it is that comes toward you will require your open-mindedness and to see something differently than you saw it before. Yeah, I felt like I needed to change that language a bit. So let's see, Spirit's message to you is the Six of Cups. So I kind of get the impression that because we have the Ace of Wands next in the hidden energies, that there's this pull between the two of you, this very, almost like you can't help yourselves. There is a flavor of some karmic energy there. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative karma, but it's something for you to examine and to be patient with, to give yourself some space around. The Temperance card is about self-control and restraint. The Devil is about none. So I almost feel like this passion comes roaring back in, And it may require you to go, oh, I see how this is playing out. And even though the love is there and the sincerity is there, you do not want to repeat old patterns. So this message from Spirit is kind of coming in little bit like potential red flag, like be on the lookout for this. Be on the lookout for that sense of being sucked back into something that you almost cannot, neither of you can resist the temptation of the other. And the passion may be good, but if it doesn't have the staying power, you're going to end up right back where you began. So be patient with the situation, allow it to unfold, exercise as much self-control and restraint as you can. And if the message that comes in is one that feels more like you're being lured or tempted into something that is out of alignment with your own path forward, then that's your message. That's your sign. Okay, so let's look at the hidden energy is the Ace of Wands. Okay, I like it. All right, so the reason why you can pump the brakes a bit with temperance here and be temperate, right? And exercise self-control and restraint is because even though the passion is bubbling up in your person, I love, like this King of Wands goes after it, right? Grabs that Ace of Wands and comes for what they want and claims it and almost has you in their clutches and doesn't take no for an answer. What I love is we have the King of Swords here, tempering, in addition to the Temperance card, tempering that behavior and being a little bit more honorable, seeking and being aware of a need for more reciprocity because you didn't have that in the past. Right? You got left holding the bag when you were so open and receptive and unconditionally loving. And that's why we are where we are right now. And I feel like this person at the very least, because it's coming from the top of the deck and it's putting off that impulse energy of the King of Wands, is I want to act with honor and integrity. I want to be honest. I want to speak truth, even if it shakes things up a bit. So I like seeing that, and underneath in this person's unconscious awareness is that there needs to be some give and take, some generosity on their part. It can't just be take, and it can't just be to serve their own needs. So Spirit's giving you the red flag warning, what to be on the lookout for. And in the hidden energy, it feels like your person is already aware of the need to sort of modulate their own impulses. So that's a good thing. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. This is a general reading, not a private reading, and we all have free will, but the energy I'm getting here looks good. Let's see at the Ten of Swords in your hopes and fears. Well, I think your fear is that nothing will have changed. That's what's done is done. But your hope is that there's still a chance. Like, I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel. So there's perseverance around the construct of growth and change and transformation. Because if you see this person change, right, if they come toward you in a whole different way, or at least opening up and making clear for you why things went down the way they did, and what they say is something you can kind of hang your hat on, you know, like feels legit, then I kind of feel like you'd be willing to take a leap again. But notice where that Fool came from, under the deck. So that's like back here somewhere in your unconscious awareness. And right now, I think you're just kind of hanging on and persevering, and as exhausted as you may be, it's like if there's any hope that we can grow from this and things can be transformed, I'm in. But I think your fear is that what's done is done. It's an honest fear. The Emperor. Yeah, powerful message, talking about destiny, talking about divine timing. But we also have the Eight of Cups here. And so there's this energy in the future of, regardless of how things unfold, what path are you walking? What have you already gotten from this situation on an emotional level that you can kind of plant and then say, that's good. It doesn't serve me anymore to kind of hang on to it like baggage, and continuing on your path. So it's not a walking away necessarily. It's a moving forward on your path. And it has to do with timing, and it has to do with whether or not you feel that there's something here worth working on or transforming in some way, shape, or form, right? Do you have that buy-in from your person? Do they come in? Notice that the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles were both under the deck. So not really coming from conscious awareness at this moment, but definitely rising up. And I feel like the path forward may be with this person, but it depends on whether or not you can clear the air, whether or not there are apologies made, whether or not some truth is told, whether or not, do you see what I'm saying? Whether or not you feel empowered to speak your piece. So the Knight of Swords is kind of coming through as that sign. Which direction do we head, or do I head forward on my own? And it's all kind of riding on, even though this is under the deck, it's kind of riding on, I'll know when I hear it, I'll know when it's spoken to me, I'll know when it comes out of my mouth, I'll know that, it'll be by divine design. So I do feel like there's something fated here about this, fated, F-A-T-E-D, about this connection, but in a good way. But there's also a potential twist of fate that may carry you in a new direction. It will all depend for each and every one of you what messages you receive and whether or not you feel that they're honest on the level, sincere. Is it something that's just unsustainable? Is it something that requires you to see with from a new perspective? Is it something that you feel comfortable to take a risk on? You see where I'm going. Okay, so I'm going to give you the astrology that just showed up in this reading for extra added confirmation. But before I do that, there is a link in the description box in the first sentence below this video that will take you to the extended, and we're going to look at our friend the Emperor here, how they show up, what's their take on what's happening right now, how do they see this situation, what's their perspective on it, how do they see you, think about you, or feel about you at this moment, and what are their intentions toward you and the connection going forward. And I'll close with some oracle. So if this is resonating for you, that link, we will continue the reading from your person's perspective. So here's who shows up energetically. Hierophant is Taurus. Knight of Wands is Sagittarius. Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn. The Empress is Venus, which rules Taurus and Libra. We have the Knight of Pentacles over here is Virgo. Page of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Knight of Cups is Pisces. The Tower is Mars, which rules Aries. Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the Devil is Capricorn. Temperance is Sagittarius. The King of Swords is Aquarius. The King of Wands is Leo. Death card is Scorpio energy. The Fool is the planet Uranus, which rules Aquarius. The Emperor is Aries. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. And the Knight of Swords is Gemini. That's what I have for you. Thanks for joining me. The link to the extended is below. I'll see you there in a second. Otherwise, bye for now.